Hello, hello. All right, we are live. Sorry, I was a little bit late. I had to put in the whole verification code thing. But I'm here and I hope you are excited. We are doing our makeup look of the month and it is pumpkin spice season. So we are doing our pumpkin spice look. Who likes pumpkin spice? Let me know in the comments if that is you. I would love to see the comments because that makes us know that you're here and you're watching and you can give your consultant some love. Tell us who your consultant is because she gets credit for having you here and she wants to know what you think of everything. So sorry for my wild hair. I just washed it and let it air dry. So it's a little crazy tonight. But we're going to get started. But while I'm getting my products ready and everything, please introduce yourself. Say hello. We love seeing comments because that means that you are, supporting us and we appreciate your support. And if you have any questions throughout this makeup look, please just put it in the comments. If there's a product that you love and you want to let your consultant know that you need it, then say sold and she will contact you about that. All right. So today we're going to be working out of two Genius palettes. These are our magnetic customized palettes. This is called the Petite palette. It has room for 4 eyeshadows, or you could put a blush in there. And this is our Perfect palette. And this one has room for all kinds of colors. So we're gonna do a little trade-off with these, and I'll tell you a little bit more about the colors. It is, of course, fall. Is everybody like just loving this weather? I'm excited that it's a little bit warm still, but it was feeling good when it was a little chilly too. Felt like a good fall season. So these are magnetic palettes, and we're going to use these colors, and we're going to do this pumpkin spice look today. So what I thought I would do today is a little bit of reverse. And what we're going to do is we're going to go into the eyes first, and then we're going to go in and do our foundation. All right. Does anybody know why I want to do it that way? Let me see if I can get some eye primer out. I'm going to start with eye primer. I'm putting this on my eyelids so that my eyeshadow is going to really hold on better. So makeup artists actually do that a lot where they do the eyeshadow first and then they put on the whole, foundation contouring last. And it's because when you do your eyeshadow, sometimes there is a little bit of fallout, right? There's just a little bit of powder that doesn't stick to the eye primer. It comes down around your eyes, and that makes your eyes look more dark, hooded. It just doesn't look as flattering and bright. So we're going to do that last. So normally we start with this, but we're not going to do that today. So try it out and see what you think. If you do your makeup and don't do your foundation first like you normally do it at the end and see how that goes. So I put my eye primer on. Just so you know about this product, it is being discontinued. Wah, wah, wah. We're so sad about that because we love the Mary Kay eye primer, but I think because it lasts forever and ever and ever and ever, it's not a product that people reorder a lot. And so Mary Kay is thinking, well, people aren't really ordering this, so we don't really need to have it on our line. And we're all like, no, we need to keep it in our line. So maybe they'll reconsider. But if you are an eye primer lover, then you're probably going to want to get a couple because they may not be here for very long. All right, so here is the palette that we are going to work with. And for me, when I start my shadow color, I always start with my base color, which is usually the lighter color. So this is called Biscotti. And oh, by the way, if you would like a sample strip of these colors, here they are. They're right here on our sample strip. We've got lip color too. We will send this to you. And I've had a couple people that have said, send me one. And so if you want a sample strip, it's your little color kit, just say me in the comments and we will send one to you. Okay, it's totally free. It's a way that you can then practice this and try these colors out for yourself. All right, so you notice that I'm using my all over eye brush and I'm really pushing this product in. You saw me re-dip and go over again. So a lot of times we see women put on eyeshadow like that. Don't do that. Push the product in. And this is a really pretty matte soft color. It just opens up my eyes because my eyes are more deep set. Now, if you have more standard eyes, you may just put this about halfway across. You don't necessarily have to do it the whole way across, but I'm just showing you one way that I usually do my base. I do not put it all the way up there because this part of my eye is more coming out. So I'm not going to do a whole lot of light color up here. Okay, so now we're going to move to our crease brush, and we are going to go in with our Shiny Penny. I love Shiny Penny. It is a kind of a perfect fall color, and I'm going to pat this in to my crease. And I know that this is not the best computer screen, and I apologize for that. This is going to be the last time that I'm going to do a video with this computer because I am getting a new computer for the probably on Black Friday. I'm going to buy a new computer. So this is just an old whatever they call it, camera, and that's why it's just not super crisp and clear. But wait till you see me next month. So can you see the color here? All right, this is a very pretty orangey color. It's not too crazy orange. It is flattering for everyone. It has a little bit of shimmer in it, but it's not too crazy sparkly, and it really just screams fall, right? So what I'm doing is I'm going in my crease, and then I'm going above my crease, and I'm doing this little rainbow effect above the crease, and then just kind of bringing it down in the corner. So it takes time, all right? It takes time to kind of get your angles right and where you want your color to go. And then it takes some time to blend in these colors. So don't be feeling like it has to look perfect the first time you pick your brush up, right? It usually takes a couple swipes back and forth and adding more product on, and then it starts to kind of come together. Now I can see on this side I need a little higher, okay, just so that it looks more even. And then we're going to blend it so that it really works together. All right, now I'm going to go back to my all over eye brush, and I'm going to go in with Candlelight. This is a shimmery color, and I'm just going to add this right to the center. It's always a good idea, if you're going to add some sparkle, to just add it right in the middle of your eyelid, just right here, okay? And that like makes the eye open, and it just adds a lot of interest when you look down and look around. It's just a pretty shimmer color. And Candlelight is just a very nice kind of neutral color. You can see it has a little bit of gold in it, but not too much, okay? So we've got our Candlelight in the middle. And then I'm going to go in with my little tiny brush, which I thought I had a minute ago, and now I don't see it. Where did it go? Here it is, it's hiding. This is our accent brush, or sometimes we call it the smudger brush. Now, in this look, they used burnished bronze, but if you prefer more of a matte color, you could use mahogany, you could use espresso, you could use any of our darker colors. Even onyx would be good because those are all more of a matte color. They are matte colors. So this is a little bit of an extra shimmery look because it has 3 shimmer colors. The 3 darker colors are shimmer and only 1 matte color. But you can swap those out and still get the same look. But with this little tiny brush, you are just doing this V right here and pushing it and patting it, little tiny pushes and pats into the corners and making a V. All right, are we seeing how we do that? All right, so it probably looks a little strange when you first put it on. It doesn't look like totally blended, and that's okay because that's when we do this brush. This is our fluffy blending brush. It's called the eye blending brush. And you just take this and you blend toward the inner part of your eye. And this is going to make it look so much more smooth, and it kind of takes away any of those harsh lines that just look like this. There's a hard stop. We don't want any hard stops. We just want it to look blended and nicely kind of congealed together. So let me just show you really quick other options again. If you wanted to intensify this look, you could go with a color like this. This is really black. It's called onyx. And you could just put a little bit of this in the outside corner. It would make it definitely more intense. If you wanted something lighter, you could use like this color. This is hazelnut. It's like a very muted brown. This is espresso. So this is a very nice dark chocolatey color. And then if you wanted more cinnamon and orangey tones, like if you had blue eyes and you wanted to bring out the blue, you would use more of an auburn kind of color, copper. That will bring out the blues. So your accent color can be interchanged depending on what you want. And if you're concerned with wrinkles and lines around your eyes, you probably would want to stay with more of a matte color. And you can see this is espresso, just a little bit deeper, all right? And it's same idea, same placement, but just a little bit of more of a matte color. So you've got options for all the colors, of course, right? But especially with that accent color. So I'm gonna go blend this in again. And there we go. Now, this is using 4 colors, but again, there's no rule that says you have to use 4 colors. That is totally up to you. All right, so I am going to use my eyeliner that is waterproof. This is our deep brown. Actually, now they just call it brown. And what I love about this liner, this new waterproof liner, is it does not move. It is so creamy, very easy to put it on. You don't have to pull or drag, you know, and really kind of be rough with your eyelids. It feels very weird for me to be putting this on when I don't have foundation on. It is not my normal. All right, I'm just going to steady myself here. And I'm going to put this on. And it is an eyeliner that can go on very narrow, very thin, or you could make it a little bit thicker, depending on the look that you want. All right, so it is just a habit for me to hold my lid. It's a hard habit to break. All right. So I've got this in here, and I love to, when I put it on the inside, I can just like barely touch it here on the inner corner, and it just glides right in. Now, I'm not going to do the bottom yet because we're going to work on foundation. But one other little tip about eyeliner is you can take this brush. This is our eyeliner brush, and you can just go over your liner to sort of smudge it, smooth it. If you've got a little bit of a bump somewhere and you feel like you need to fix a bump, then this is a great, great tool. Just go through and smooth it and smudge it and just make it look really perfect. All right, so we got that on there. And so now we can go ahead and put our foundation on. So I think I'll do that. And then I will go back and use the mascara and all of that. All right, so foundation primer. All right, we're putting this on because this is gonna really create a beautiful, smooth, even texture to our face. Your face is a canvas, and we wanna make sure that our canvas is nice and smooth. I was going to use my regular foundation, but I'm looking for it. It has disappeared. That is really weird. Talking about foundation, then I don't see it. Well, I do have the CC cream somewhere here. Oh, here it is. I'll tell you, it just disappears. It's right in front of you and you don't see it. All right, I wanted to show this to you because this is our liquid Time-Wise foundation. This is luminous, and I'm using N150, okay? It's luminous. You can tell it has the pink stripe on the back, and that means it's going to give me a little bit of a dewiness to my face, and this is going to cover a little bit more than my CC cream would. So I'm just putting this on with my liquid foundation brush. You really are missing out if you are not using a liquid foundation brush. It gives you such a smooth finish. It makes it look kind of airbrushed. And normally you might want to put your hair back when you're doing this, but it just helps make everything look so super smooth. And maybe you need a new foundation match for your skin because this time of year, you're losing your tan, you're getting a little more pale, and you're probably noticing maybe your foundation is not looking the right color compared to what you were using in the summer. All right, so I love that little glow. You can see that glow on there, right? It just makes my skin look dewy. It makes it look healthy. And I will do some powder on at the end so you can see what it looks like when you finish with a powder. Now, it looks a little weird because this is like, you know, a bright light on my face, but it is a nice color for more of that medium toned skin. Okay, I'm not like the lightest light. I'm not the darkest beige. This is beige 150 time-wise. You're getting anti-aging ingredients in here as well as the great coverage. Okay, so we are looking now for our eyebrow pencil. And where did it go? I'll tell you, these things just jump. They move away. All right, here it is. Here it is. And I'm going to use this liner. This is the Precision Liner. And wait till you see the difference of me filling in my brows. All right. I'm doing this with little short strokes. I usually start on the side that's closest to my nose. And I'm kind of squaring this off just a little bit. Okay. And you can go on the top where you have a little bit of like the line at the top. You can make your brow look a little bit thicker if you want to, right? I'm drawing this in just to add a little more thickness to my brow. And then you go on the bottom to add a little more thickness on the bottom. Now this is taking a weird little angle there. I don't need that. But isn't that easy? You just wipe it off. So you can see a difference, right? With an eyebrow penciled in and without. Really does give a more youthful appearance. It draws you into the eye and it just demands attention. Now, you don't necessarily want your brow to look so big and bold that it takes away from the rest of your look. It should enhance your eye look. So, do you all fill in your brows every day? I would love to know what you do with your brows because a lot of people think they are just something you can leave behind, right? But it's really not something you want to forget. So I am using the dark blonde eyebrow pencil. Somebody said, what color are you using? And it says, yes, it's starting to come together. I'm with you. I like to use espresso. Yes, espresso is a really pretty color. We're just kind of playing with different colors tonight. So the other thing is you can see my eyebrows do not look the same. They are sisters, not twins. And what you can do is you can pick the eyebrow that you like a little bit more, right? We all have one that's more of a favorite. If you ever go get your eyebrows waxed, sometimes the person will say, which eyebrow do you like the best? And they will try to make it, the other one match that one. So, you know, you can kind of take a little off of one side or add a little more. And don't forget to extend the tail. A lot of times with our brows, we just have a brow that ends like here, but we need to have our brow end here. It should be in a line with the nose and the eye and the tip of the brow. All right. So this one got a little thick, but that's okay. And then if you do your brows and you're like, whoa, you know, this was more than I intended or that I wanted, go back with this beautiful eyeliner brush and just go through to blend in your eyebrows a little bit. It'll soften it, takes away a little bit of the darkness, and it just grooms your brows. So this is a nice way to soften up what you did. Okay, so now We definitely need to do some things under the eyes because under the eye area, you can see dark circles, right? So I like to put mine in here. And I also like to put it out here as my two primary places. And then you can use your finger or you can use a sponge, but I really like our brush. This is our eye cream brush. So this is good to use with cream shadows and concealers and under eye corrector. So when you have it here, what you do is you just pull it up like this, and that will clean up any of the edges from your eyeshadow, and it gives your eyes an instant lift. I don't know if you can tell the difference, but when I do this here, it creates light and lift on the edge of my eye. And this is usually where I have the most shadow, so I usually concentrate most of it here, and then I kind of pat it across to add a little bit more there. Now, if you do have lines under your eyes, that's normal, right? We all have that. So it's going to happen that you may see, a little bit of that lines around your eyes. But when you use a primer, it helps to prevent the lines from looking as noticeable. And if you use a brush, that will help too. And I'm going to show you another way to help with that too with your translucent powder. So just pat it in, maybe go a little bit lighter. If you feel like it's emphasizing lines, maybe don't put it as heavy. And, I sometimes just sort of pat, pat, pat gently under my eyes when I'm done. Okay, you can also add a little concealer too if you have issues with very dark circles. Sometimes a little concealer helps with just brightening under the eyes. This is something you can do on the top of your brow. You can do a little bit on the bottom of your brow just to clean up around your eyes. All right, now whenever I'm at this point, I think, oh my gosh, I have definitely got to get those lashes on. That is going to be what pulls it together. So I always curl my lashes and I do the Mary Kay eyelash curler, doing a couple squeezes to help that just curl and stay up. And you don't want to really pull, you just squeeze and then you move it out more and you squeeze again. Okay, you can do it 2 or 3 times depending on the length of your lashes. So now they're a little bit more curled. And I'm going to do my lash intensity. I was just talking about this mascara the other day. Look at this wand. This is huge. And when we are going into this season of glam and holiday, I think everybody needs a lash intensity mascara. Okay. This is the one that's going to give you those va-va-voom lashes, darker, thicker, just a whole different level of thickness to the brow. To the lashes. So, but it's not clumpy. It's not going to go, into these sticky, bunched up kind of look. And what's cool about this wand is you can kind of use it in 2 ways. You can go to the shorter side to kind of deposit a lot of the mascara onto the lash, going back and forth. And then you can turn it to the longer side to fan it out and give you more length. All right, so I would probably do another couple coats here, but I did want to just move this along, and you can tell a little bit of a difference, can't you? When you have mascara on and when you don't. All right, so there's something else that I usually wait and I add it on, and that would be my liner underneath. So we're going to do liner underneath here once we get this baby done. And sometimes I'll put mascara on the bottom too. Okay, so we got our mascara on, lash intensity. I know it's a little hard to see here, but this is some really nice mascara. But the underneath part, you could go back over with your deep brown liner, and I usually just do a little bit right there on the edge of the waterline. And I take my brush like this, and I just blend it across. So I don't usually go all the way across with my liner, but I do it by blending. I'll go further across. So Sometimes I'll go only about like halfway, 3/4 of the cross away. And you don't have to do any liner on the bottom if you don't want to. If you feel like, you have dark circles or you want to make it just a lighter look, you can keep it light. The other thing you could do is you could use a shadow. And really you could do any color. I'm going to use the burnished bronze just to show you a little darker color. But sometimes a shadow is a little bit lighter, more flattering for more mature skin. It's not as kind of tight and closing up the eyes. Do you see how this one kind of makes, sorry, this one is a little bit, it's tightening my eye, where this is making my eye look a little bit bigger, right? I think I like this one better. What do you like? Like the shadow better? But anyway, you can do both. You can do shadow on top of eyeliner. So you got options here. And one little tip that I've seen people do, I haven't really done this a lot myself, but you can use the back tip of your wand, your brush, any brush, and that is a nice way to just kind of blend and soften it. So try that tip and see how you like it. Sometimes people will use the brush that we did, the accent brush, this little brush too, and they can use that as a blending tool. So, the idea is you gotta blend, and depending on how intense, you want that look to be, then add the appropriate amount of eyeliner. Some people, they want it light. Some people, they want it a little bit dark. So a couple things people are saying. They love the under eye corrector. Yes, this is such a great product for taking away dark circles. This is like a product that I cannot live without. This is the bomb. It has like a little bit of a peachy pink look, and that peachy tone, it takes away the dark circles, just like an eraser. So I'm going to see if I can take away some of this, because this is distracting to me. I don't usually wear that much eyeliner underneath. So we're just going to fix this up with our fabulous oil-free eye makeup remover and our fabulous under eye corrector, which I just put down and I lost it. Here it is. Okay. A little more here, and that will fix it. All right, so we're almost done. Thank you for staying on here with me. I know this is taking a little bit longer because I wanted to show you the whole thing. But if you want to, you could put some mascara underneath. And let me just fix this bottom part here with a little bit of the eyeshadow burnished bronze. Other one. All right, we're just going to go softly with the liner. And then a little bit of this if you want to add mascara on the bottom. And if you have issues with mascara like kind of coming off or flaking through the day, then we also have a really great waterproof mascara, which is not going to get anything coming down on your face through the day. It is definitely the one that will stay on the best through every bit of tears, sweat, humidity, whatever. All right, so let's add a little contour. We're going to move on to our contour, and we're going to go into this palette now. And I'm going to use my brush here, and I'm just going to do a little bit of the cocoa color, because that's the color that best suits my skin tone. There's cocoa, and there is, no, sorry, I'm doing latte. There's cocoa for darker tone and latte for lighter tone. And you can instantly see how that gave my cheekbones a lift, right? And then I'm going to put some on the top of my forehead because I have a high forehead and I want to bring it down. So by adding the brown color, this is a matte color around the top of my forehead, it helps to bring that down and keep this part lighter, and this part is going to be a little darker, so it's going to set it back. So you can do this right here along your jawline, underneath your chin. It helps to hide some of the double chin and the jowls by creating a shadow. So dark colors make things go back, okay? See how it looks like more of a shadow here? And the light things make things come forward. Now, when I do it like this, I do a lot of blending, right? So that I can not see a line. You don't want to see any line around your contour. But it just kind of goes into that little area right beneath the bone. So it pops the cheekbone. But I can tell that I need some color. So I'm going to go in with my blush and I just pat this on the bone. And then I usually smile and I just do a little bit of color right there on the apple of my cheek. So this is a really light color. Let me see what color this is. But you know, we have lots of different blushes. This one is called Darling Pink. And the cheek colors are 14. And then I feel like when I add that color on my cheeks, it just gives my whole face light and like vitality. You need a little bit of pink on your cheeks just to make you look like you're alive. You don't want to look dead, okay? It will be more youthful and just glowing and vivacious. You will have that vivacious look when you add the color. But this is a soft color. I didn't want to go too bold, and it's called Darling Pink. So if you are lighter tone, ivory or light beige, you could definitely do the Darling Pink. For someone who has a darker skin tone, it probably would be too light. It just wouldn't show up on you. So you might want to do like the Rosy Nude or the Shy Blush, the Wineberry if you're a little bit darker tone. Okay, now we're going to get into lips and we will be done. I did want to tell you that we have a lot of beautiful lip liners that work so well for the fall season. Look at all these different nudes that we have. We have Auburn Nude, Truffle Nude, Beige Nude, Pink Nude, Mauve Nude. And I was so confused about which nude to do. I still don't know which nude I want to do. I would say probably one of the most popular ones that people are using is the Beige Nude. I'll show you what it looks like. It's just kind of like that in-between nude color. It works well with a lot of different lipsticks. My other favorite is the Mauve Nude. Okay, that's going to give you a little more of a pink. And I'm going to use that one today. So when you do your liners, these are new. You're going to go up in the Cupid's bow. Okay. So unless you have really great lips with already perfectly Cupid bowed form, then, you know, you might want to enhance your lips a little bit with your lip liner. It just makes your lips look a little bit fuller, like you got a little, you know, extra help. But you didn't need to do anything permanent. And then you do the Vada, and you can kind of go back and forth there in the center, and then you connect it on the side, connect it on the side. Now, these feel so creamy that I'll tell you, you're going to want to color in your whole lip with them. And that's a great tip for making your lipstick last longer and look smoother, is fill your lips in with a lip liner first. I'm not going to do the whole fill in, but I am going to finish with a little bit of lipstick and lip gloss. So Beige Nude is the only one available right now. Yes, these are like selling out like crazy, and there's a little bit of a supply chain issue. So we are kind of working hard to get all of our liners back. But right now we do have the Beige Nude, and someone says that they love the Mauve Nude. It is a beautiful, beautiful color. So there are so many great colors that you can use for fall that are nude. This is called Rosewood. Okay, I'm going to show you some of these colors so you can tell your consultant which one you like. Then there's this one that is also very similar. It's called Blush Velvet. Okay, do you see how that's like a little bit of more of a orangey nude? Okay, then the Rosewood, which is rose, has more of a rose in it. Then if you wanted to go with a darker nude, you could do Rich Truffle, which is more of a brown color. Okay, so all of these fun, really great for getting that fall look. Then there's subdued nude. Let's put it right here. This is lighter, okay? Subdued nude definitely has less color to it. You can see it's lighter. And then we could get into some of the other tones, like we have apricot, always apricot if you want a little more peach to it. And then we have darker browns like downtown brown. And this one is spiced ginger. So if you prefer, let's see, we'll put it here. If you prefer something really rich and deep, like with that nutmeg kind of color in there, you might want to go for the spiced ginger. And then the darkest one of all, this is right here, downtown brown. Definitely is brown. So some lighter women, they just love dark colors. I have a friend who just swears by it. That's her favorite thing. But darker tone women, Black women, they tend to like some of these darker colors. So it's really not just for one tone of woman, right? You can do all of these colors. It's just try it, right? And see which one is best for you. So we could go from the subdued nude is the lightest all the way over here to some of the darkest, but these are all the different nudes. I love them. So today, I think I'm going to try the rich truffle. That was the one that was right in the middle. Okay, so let's see how rich truffle looks on me. It's definitely more of that brown color, and it is creamy actually. It's not our like super hydrating lipstick that we have. It's not the Supreme Hydrating, but even though it's not, it's still, it feels moisturizing. So different kind of look for me, huh? Usually you see me in pinks and coral and all that, but we're going brown today. It's fall, y'all. Okay, so this is tawny nude. Okay, so I put a nude on top of a nude. And so sometimes that's a cool way to add just a little bit more dimension to the look and maybe change up the color a little bit. Then I always like to finish with my translucent loose powder. And we were talking about with the eyes and the lines, I usually press under the eyes. And that kind of makes the eyes really pop, takes away any of the lines. It kind of blurs the lines. That's what this powder does. It blurs the little imperfections of our face. And it also takes away a little bit of shine. So if you use this, it will just make everything very soft. And someone said, show me apricot, always apricot. Here is always apricot. It's like a sunset peach. We have a sunset peach color that's similar, but this is, I would say, a little bit lighter, a little more on the neutral side. So it would totally change the look if I put this on, right? And that's what I love about lipstick. It like just gives you a new personality when you put on a different color. So this is not necessarily a normal color for me, but I wanted to do it just to kind of be in the fall mood. If I was going all day, right, I could do my finishing spray. Go all day with finishing spray. I love that. I just made that up. And the finishing spray, I believe, is 18. Our lipsticks are 18. Our lip gloss is 16. Our powder is 18. You see a pattern? Pretty much all of our makeup products are between like $14 and $18. So talk to your beauty consultant about which products you want to take home, which ones you need for your fall look. I hope that you had fun learning about the pumpkin spice and everything nice. It definitely has a little bit of that fun, you know, pumpkin-y tone to it, but not crazy orange. You know, we're not having you look like a pumpkin. And one last thing to mention, this month, you can join Mary Kay for only $25 and you get this box for free. So if you have ever thought about, you know, becoming a member so that you can get all of these great products at a really great price, we get 50% off of our products as consultants. So if you're looking at all the things that we tried today, that would probably be in the range of about $200 retail. If you bought all of the products that we tried today, you would be able to get that for half. Okay, when you're a consultant, instead of paying $200 for it, you would pay $100 for it. And it's only $25 to join one time. And then, of course, you can share it with other people. Of course, you can, do virtual things with us. You can join into these and bring friends and share samples. We provide the sample strips for you to give to your friends. So a lot of the support and the training and the help is given to you if you want to do more with it. Maybe you just say, I'm just going to pass out catalogs. We have a consultant in our unit, Jill, and she has a very busy full-time job. So she just brings catalogs to her customers that she works with in her other job. And she collects hundreds of dollars worth of orders every month just from catalog sales. I mean, who wouldn't want to look through this and pick out some fun things for themselves and also for the holidays? And speaking of holidays, it's a really good time to join, because then you can go shopping for other people in your family and in your circle of friends and everything, and you buy your gifts for them for half price. So it's a good time. The $25 will expire at the end of the month. It goes back up to $35. So it's not a huge difference, but hey, if you can save $10, why wouldn't you? And plus, this month, you're going to be able to get this box of sheet masks. And this is a $40 value. There's 8 sheet masks in here, and they're very hydrating. As the weather's getting colder, this is a perfect thing to help your skin have that healthy glow. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching, and talk to your beauty consultant about the products that you want and let her know that you were here so she can get credit. All right, have a great night. Bye-bye.